Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hello and welcome in to the final day of SEC Media Days. John Abraham, Joe Hunk. 2 hours straight of sports talk. Gotta say, I appreciate Scott for having such warm ears because I'm right after him and my ears are warm. And it's the only warm thing inside of this place. We just heard from Eli Drinkowitz, the Missouri Tigers head coach, and he started out swinging with the jokes. I mean, Joe, did you watch? What was it? Was it the ESPYs Award? I didn't see what it was yesterday, but we had a comedian up on the stage.
Yeah, no, I did not watch it a single second of that. In fact, I even turned it on ESPN because I was like, I wonder what ESPN's talking about, and they're all in LA for the ESPYs. I was like, all right, cool, I'm going to turn the channel, and I just
it was pretty funny.
I just threw it on Captain America.
Okay, well, he did a really good job. Eli Drinkowitz did a really good job at, getting up there and getting the crowd woken up. He was throwing out the jokes. It was really entertaining to hear. And I got to say, I know Tom's going to say something similar to it because I walked up to him afterwards and I said,
y'all share a brain. So
I think that is the case. I walked up to him afterwards and I said, hey, I got to admit, I think he's my favorite coach in the SEC right now. And I know a lot of people, I already had somebody come after me for saying that over on my socials, but I do. And I like the way that he recruits, and I like the way that he puts together a team. Now, he's got a lot of pieces that are leaving from his past squad that I liked. I liked Theo Weiss. I liked Luther Burden. I liked Mookie Cooper. Okay, that was the whole wide receiver room that they had. They're all gone, and this team's having to reload. Now, the players that they have here today are the complete opposite of those talented players. I'll say in the offensive side of the ball, they're defensive players as well as the center. And we're talking about Dylan Carnell. He is the safety. Connor Tollison on top of that, Zion Young. I'll say this: when I think of this team, I do not think of the defense. I do not think of the offensive line. I think of the wide receivers. I think of the running backs. I think of the QBs, which they have 2 of them right now, and I think that one of them is a little bit better than the other one. Bo Pribula. Okay, Bo Pribula is the name. From Penn State, comes on over. He only had like a few passes over 20 yards. I mean, this is a guy that, you really have to zone in on and bring in because he fits the scheme of the team. And I think that Eli Drinkowitz knows exactly what he's doing when it comes to it, because he's been able to do it in the past. But, of course, with Brady Cook being there in the last 3 years, he might be a little rusty with it. Now, I think he did just fine. I think this is a quarterback that will add 2 layers to the offense. He can run the ball. He can also be a pocket presence. Not as much as maybe a Garrett Nussmeier, not as much as a Ty Simpson, but something kind of in the middle. I'm interested to see where I'll end up ranking Mizzou when it comes down to it, because this is a team that had 9 wins last year, and it's crazy to think about. It really is, Joe. You think about some of the teams that were, 2 years, 3 years ago, and they're teams that went and won 9 games last year. Same thing for South Carolina. The SEC has gotten to the point.
I'm going to stop you there. You need to put some respect on that Missouri team. They had 10 wins last year.
Oh, I'm so sorry. 10 wins.
They had
Holy
10
cow.
wins. If they get 10 wins this year, it'll be the first time in Missouri history that they have 3 consecutive 10-win seasons.
What were their records when they first joined into the SEC? Because I know they made it to the SEC championship. They lost those times, but they made it. I want to know what their records were. And again, that was I think a 2014 year, where I think Auburn was supposed to be ranked as one of the better teams in the SEC.
So they had 2 10-win seasons back-to-back in 13 and 14. They won 12 games and 11 games. But then the last part of the season is when Gary Pinkel lost every single game, and he eventually was let go.
Yeah.
And until Eli Drinkowitz won 11 games in 2023, this team hadn't won 9 games since that 2014 season.
It's wild, and I like it. I love it. I gotta say, I want some more of it. I'm looking at an Eli Drinkowitz.
You try so hard, you can't get enough of it.
I just can't get enough of it. I wanted to ask him a question I didn't get to.
It was a packed room.
It wasn't even a packed room. I know you were watching. It was not a packed room. I was trying to get a question, and I was just like halfway through. I was like, I think I'll ask a question, and I was like, you know what? I think there's a few more people that already had their hands up. I think I'll just wait on it for a second, and then I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like it. Just people kept raising their hands, even though there weren't that many people in the room. It filled out throughout the interview, so I was all for it.
Here's what happened: people that were upstairs, people that were not in that main room, were looking on X, and they were seeing the things that Drinkowitz was saying, and they're like, "Hold up."
He's funny.
Hold up!
He's a funny guy.
I need to go ahead and I need to walk down and I just need to go ahead and get in on this because that's what it was. And you can never sell Drinkowitz short. Like with what he is. First off, he literally went up there and the only thing he didn't bring with him to SEC Media Days were Fs because he did not have 2 Fs to give on anything about what he was saying.
He didn't, and I love to see it because this is what I was saying the other day when I was thinking about Brian Kelly. I was thinking about Kalen DeBoer. Okay, these quarterbacks get into the SEC, or these coaches get into the SEC, and it gets to a point where there's a lot of pressure for these first-time SEC coaches. I mean, Brian Kelly comes over from Notre Dame. I told you this the other day. He was acting like somebody he wasn't. Then you see Eli Drinkowitz come into the conference, and he was as stiff as a board. He used to try and crack those jokes quite a bit, and they didn't hit. Now they're hitting, and on top of that, he doesn't care what the media thinks. That's something that I'm looking at Kalen DeBoer that is not there yet. And it might take him 5 years. I hope it doesn't. I hope he keeps, this constant rate of a successful team going. But at the same time, when's he going to fall into his own? I think that's whenever he'll achieve a higher form of an Alabama football team, which I think he can reach. I mean, this is, again, a guy that had the best start to a tenure as a head coach for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So just think about that. Give him some time.
I think what Drinkowitz just did on the podium is something that I believe that all SEC coaches should go back and watch and listen to because he did SEC Media Days right. Like and again, he's still got to go around all Media Row and everything else and talk to everybody. But he did SEC Media Days right because he stood up. He actually had an educated opinion because you saw all the notes that he had. He even said, look, this is going to piss off the commissioner, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Like, he knew, like, he was asked his opinion. He gave it, but at the same time, he also didn't give bulletin board material, nor was he boring. Like I said,
it was the most engaging coach I have seen all week. I got to admit.
And even beforehand, Scott and I were talking before he walked up, I was like, trust me, Drew walked into the room, and I think it doubled the attendance. Like, it was something like that. Drinkowitz even said that. Hey, good to see the 14 of you. That actually came out today. To stop, because you know what he's doing? Because if for some reason, because I know this is going to sound blasphemy to even say, if Missouri makes it back to Atlanta for an SEC championship game, when they get to the media day, which they're going to have, he's going to say, man, there's a lot more than 14 of you here this time.
Oh, yeah.
Where were you guys at SEC Media Days?
Set himself up like he's tossing up a ball to himself about to hit a home run. I'd love to see it.
I joked yesterday, and I've joked the other day, because I was even talking about scheduling, and I forgot Mizzou. I even said it. Like, everybody forgets about Mizzou, and Drink is just over here, 10-win season.
Yeah.
Look throughout the 16 teams that are in the SEC. How many of those teams would love to have back-to-back 10-win seasons?
More than half of them.
You see what I'm saying? Like, he's just doing this and nobody's thinking about it. I'm telling you, if Drink has another 10-win season, you cannot tell me that there is not a blue-chip program, if they have an opening, that should not be giving that man a call. He's literally everything that you want in a football coach.
I totally agree with you. I think a lot of people sleep on him, but of course, I mean, that's something that I think we at 97.7 ESPN The Zone already know. I heard Drew say it. I already thought it last year, the year before that. I've been hot on this guy for a minute now, but that's mainly because of the teams that he's had. I've been interested to see them grow, and now a few of them in the NFL, especially those wide receivers. They have scattered throughout the realm of the National Football League. But our opinions are brought to you by the wonderful people over at Fleming Roofing and Restoration, the guys you need to talk to about all of your roofing needs. If you're having any roofing problems, make sure you look them up online at FlemingHSV.com to fill out your free quote today. And remember that Fleming always shows up. Joe, there's 3 more coaches left to speak here on the final day of SEC Media Days 2025.
It's all downhill from here. Eli was the perfect opener, man. He screwed you guys over.
It really is tough. How do you follow that up? And we got to hear Mark Stoops next. I mean, is that right, Joe? I've been getting my coaches wrong this whole time when it comes to the order that they're in. I believe it's Mark Stoops next.
Yes, you're going to have.
I might fall asleep.
You're going to have
that I don't.
Oh, you don't want to go to him live at 10:50? Oh, you don't want to go to his live during that?
I've already thought about this, Joe. I knew that you wouldn't. I wouldn't want to do it.
No.
This is a team, and I don't want to underestimate anybody because college football is uncanny. I mean, you could just go off crazy with your predictions right now, and it would still probably hit. With Mark Stoops going up to the podium, I got to admit, I don't want to see it. I'll fall asleep. It's too early for that. But you never know what you'll get out of Kentucky.
No, he's going to go up there, and he's going to be boring, and he's like, that's what it's going to be. Sam Pittman, on the other hand, he should go straight Eli Drinkwitz because that's who Sam Pittman is. Yeah. And Sam, you're going to be able to hear on Tom's show because he goes on to the podium at 12. Mm-hmm. But that coach, I wish if Sam Pittman was talking at 10:50. You better be sure that I would be going and making sure that we actually played that.
I agree.
I think he is going to actually be entertaining. And look, even the thing about Drink and it wasn't just the fact that he gave his opinions. He gave bold opinions. He didn't just say, hey, I think we're going to be good this year. He said, hey, I think that the college football playoff should actually expand. I think that we should have 9 games. Now, he said 30 teams. Mathematically, that wouldn't really work out, so it would have to be probably a 32-team bracket.
I think that he was just
he was doing it off the math.
Well, I think that he was meaning by that, if you do expand it, then you have more people engaged with what's going to happen at the end of the season.
He was basing that off of the percentage that the professional leagues actually go with and how many they actually put in. Like, the NFL puts in 12% or something like that.
Yeah.
That's what
I think it was because he was throwing out the numbers that kind of made me lose interest for a second.
Well,
but
and again, I'm a math nerd. So what he did is he said, okay, well, if we're going to do the equivalent of this, and we're basically turning into the NFL, because he said that, look, if we're trying to mold ourselves after the NFL, then 16 teams and 12 teams, that's really not going to put a dent in how many more fan bases are included. But if you put 30 in. Because he said 30, which is what the math would say. But, again, looking at a bracket, 32 makes more sense. If he said 30 teams are going to be the ones that are coming in, then 30 teams would mean that we are at that. He also said exactly what I've been trying to tell everybody for the last 3 years. More games on home campuses. Can we please have more games on home campuses? Because that was absolutely amazing for college football. He even said he wanted 9 games. Like, he put his opinion out there. We didn't have to pry it away from him. He said, look, this is what I believe. This is what I think should happen. And if Commissioner Sankey doesn't like it, I'm sorry, but I'm giving you my opinion. I'm being honest with you.
No, you're totally fine. Sorry, Randall Cobb just came by my table. I just want to say I would have loved to have him on, but I was just like, I thought we were getting Brooks. We're getting Brooks Austin in the next segment. Randall Cobb would be great. I would love to have you later in the show, man. It's cool to see him just walking by and just
whoa. You're saying no to Randall Cobb. Really?
He was already going to Steve. We have 2 sections here. He's getting in for the drive later on, so look forward to Randall Cobb on that show.
You are just getting.
I gotta get a picture with this guy
right now, man.
Look. I'm not cooking the way I should. Okay, and I'm also seeing a lot of NFL stars that I didn't know were going to be here. I should have brought my football cards. I could have got my Packers Randall Cobb card.
You are supposed to be a professional.
I'm still 25.
Yeah, I know, and this is
25-year-old.
why I'm sitting here telling you that you're getting outworked right now by Steve Moulton, And you're also still trying to be a fan and getting cards, man. We don't get autographs on Radio Row, bro.
Well, that's why I haven't. But maybe Brooks Austin will give me a signature or two whenever we're coming back. We do need to hop into a break. But when we do come back, we're going to have the fun Brooks Austin with us as he sit down right in front of me. It was either you or Randall Cobb, and I chose you. So
that's a big win.
Yeah, you right now got a major compliment right then. You over Randall Cobb.
Have you seen that guy's eyes?
Dude, they're beautiful.
They're beautiful.
I could get lost in them. They're like a sea green.
Guys, this isn't Love Island. Can we go to break?
You're listening to The Blitz here on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, WZZN TV, and ESPN Winchester. We'll be right back. Brooks Austin coming up next.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Never went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal.
The Drive in Atlanta is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Rise Real Estate, and Adams. We know great homes. Eagle Masonry and Insulation will save you money. Jacob Title, the place to call for all your closing needs. And by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we show up.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway, Rise Real Estates, and Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. Eagle Masonry and Installation. It's right there in the name. Eagle is your one-stop shop for block, stone, or brickwork, monument signs, and outdoor kitchens and fireplaces. Eagle also offers the finest craftsmanship and insulation, including fiberglass or spray foam insulation, and of course, insulation removal. Philip Love and his team have years of experience, bringing the region the best in masonry and insulation services. For more information and a quote, visit insulatewitheagle.com or call 256-755-1556. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at Your Home Window Company. When it comes to replacement windows, exterior doors, or new window screens, Your Home Window is the answer anywhere in Huntsville, Athens, Decatur, or Hartselle. Your Home Window windows and doors are made here in the USA and come with a lifetime warranty. When replacing those old windows or doors, Your Home Window has the solution for you. In-home estimates are always free and financing is available. Learn more at yourhomewindow.com and see clearly with Your Home Window. Visit yourhomewindow.com to make an appointment today.
You can now do more without it costing you more. Alabama's attractions have come together to offer the all-in-one ticket that downloads to your mobile device. No matter how many attractions listed on the ticket you see during the time span you bought, your price stays the same. Pick the right ticket option that best fits your schedule, and then enjoy more attractions without spending more. All-in-one tickets for different areas of Alabama are available at alabama.travel and other places where online tickets are sold. Brought to you by Alabama Tourism Department, the ABA, and this station.
Hey, brother. Saw you called.
John, I've been thinking about our days during the war, and
I'm on my way.
Thanks, man.
If you are a veteran struggling with depression, anxiety, or need someone to talk to, call 800-273-8255. Press 1. It's private and free 24/7. Call 800-273-8255 or visit vetsforhope.com. Sponsored by the Partners of Alabama's Challenge and the Alabama Broadcasters Association.
You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit LifetimeEpoxyFloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. A couple of isolated showers are going to be possible. Otherwise, it's going to be another July afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-90s. Heat indices climbing anywhere between 105 and 109. We only drop into the mid-70s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Friday. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Hey girl, I like your flavor. Wish I could be your neighbor.
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight of sports talk, goofs, gaffs, all of that good stuff. And now we're bringing in a guest that knows quite a bit about all of that stuff. He is the film guy. He is Brooks Austin, and he's been walking around aimlessly, similar to myself. You know, there's a lot of time we have here at SEC Media Days. And when we're in an environment like this, where there's so much to look at, and we got a little bit of ADHD. I don't know if you got ADHD.
I think we all do.
Yeah. I think it's the phones.
Yeah,
I think it's the phones.
probably.
I think it's the technology. But there's just so much to look at. So it's like, and it's also in a circle, so it's like a track. I think that's something that goes back to our minds. But, you know, I mean, welcome back. Yeah. You've been on the show earlier with Talking Ball and all of that stuff. But you're here, and you're looking at these teams, and I want to get into it, you know, right away with what we just saw with Eli Drinkowitz. I mean, you know, talk about the confidence of some of these coaches throughout the years, because I've been talking about this quite a bit. Kalen DeBoer, it seems like he hasn't really fell into his own, I would say, within the SEC.
Well, I don't think Kalen's necessarily like fully comfortable being like a public speaker. I think he's comfortable speaking to a group of young men, like a football team, but standing in front of several hundred media members, I don't think that's necessarily his comfortability. Now, Drink just put up a standing comedian routine. I mean, that was nuts. And honestly, like, to be serious, okay, when his first year he was here, I thought Drink was the same guy. Like, he was cut upable. Like, he was he joked about himself, he joked about his team. He had a lot of energy, laughed, had a good time. And then the next year, I think he actually got quoted too many times, because the next year comes to the microphone, I think in Nashville, and he's kind of like, you know, this year I'm going to be reserved. I'm not going to be quotable. I think it was his actual first statement. He was like, last year, got clipped a couple times. This year, going to be a little bit more reserved.
I think I remember that. I remember him coming to the stage saying that.
Today, he mentioned basically like, I've reached a point now in my career where I just don't care anymore. Yeah. I don't care what y'all think about me. And he said it very, like, seriously, not like, you know, a joke or anything. It was just like, I don't care. I'm going to be me. And I think that's what that was. I think that's real. That's what Eli Drinkowitz is. No. I think Eli Drinkowitz is an entertainer and a communicator and a guy who happens to know a lot about football and happens to be a good football coach. But I think by nature, I think he wants to have fun.
Yeah,
you know?
And I get that same feeling. I was definitely laughing whenever he was just throwing out the random stuff about,
Bro
like,
opened
John
with an
Kennedy.
Epstein joke.
He also threw out the John Kennedy song. I was just like, what's going on here? This is what I'm talking about, you know?
I'm saying, very comfortable. Let everybody know at home that there were 14 media members that showed up.
There really were.
I mean, this place is kind of dead today. I'm not going to lie.
No. Stay 4. What are you going to do?
I mean, the whole week, honestly, maybe it's a good thing. No news is good news kind of thing. I feel like every coach has done the same thing. Love my team. Got a lot of leadership coming back. Got 50% of the roster done turned over on me. I ain't playing 9 games. My 8 schedule's tough enough. It's like word for word, bar for bar. Everybody's doing the same kind of gambit.
Yeah, and Nick Saban, he's not coming back. And if he does, well, I better change my britches.
Except for Stoops and Levy. Both of them kind of had to, or I would imagine Stoops this afternoon.
Yeah.
Levy kind of had to look at us and go, yeah, I don't know nothing about my team either. Like, most of them showed up in January, so we'll find out come fall.
I feel like that's a majority of these teams, too.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about, getting used to some of these players. I don't know if we'll ever get back to that. There's more turnover in college football than there is in the NFL right now. And for these guys to try and work well together, a wide receiver and a quarterback, I mean, their connection is something that doesn't just come in the span of a year. It comes in the span of maybe 2 or 3, and the connections between those players going out and enjoying themselves. See you, Randall. See you, brother.
Yeah, Brooks, you better be showing up for the rest of this because he didn't go for Randall Cobb.
Okay. I'm saying. I'm just thinking about what you were talking about. Is Taylor Green and Lenore Sellers, are they the only returning starters in the conference? DJ Lagway, kinda.
Yeah, he partially played, but
Marcel Reed, kinda.
Yeah, they had half the season.
Yeah, there's like 2.
Yeah.
The rest of the league's like, this is a really talented guy. Oh, Garrett Nuss right down there at LSU.
But he was a little bit banged up last year even.
But it's not like we don't have like a third, fourth year starter. This guy's been here forever type of
you're not wrong.
guy right now in the league. So it's just it's open. Like this league is very open. I think the sport's very open. It's something I think we've all kind of noticed, not with just the transfer portal, but NIL allowing not just some teams to spend money, every team to kind of go out there and buy players. And when you're able to do that, talent disperses everywhere.
Yeah, well, I mean, do you think the days of having a mediocre quarterback and a really talented team around him are kind of over? Because that was a lot of Alabama's bread and butter in 2015.
Some people would say Georgia, too. I believe that Stetson Bennett's uber talented. I just think he's 6 foot, 5'11". Some people don't look at him that way. Yeah. But, I mean, you throw for 4,200 yards, 4,000 yards 2 years in a row in the SEC, you're pretty damn good.
Might be the tight end. You might have helped out a little bit.
You get in trouble before the draft, and you're still a fourth-round draft pick. Like, you're pretty daggum good. So, no, I think you're onto something in the sense that, like, the odds of you having 15, 20 NFL football players around a quote-unquote game manager, probably not the case anymore. But Ohio State, you would argue, kind of did that last year, even though Will Howard was playing out of his mind.
I mean, the long ball was it was spectacular.
Yeah.
And that, of course, goes back to his day in the Big 12, which a lot of people are overlooking right now, except for the Big 12. Okay? And I know this is SEC Media Days, but the Big 12 thinks themselves pretty hot. So
yeah, my man, the commissioner coming out there saying they're the deepest conference in the sport. I'm like, just because we don't know who's good doesn't mean you're deep. You know what I mean?
Just because everybody's average.
Just because the whole media carousel's like, well, shit, I don't know who's going to win it this year. Doesn't mean you're deep.
I mean, what do we got out of Arizona State? I mean, what do we even get out of Arizona State here in this new season? Without Cam Scadaboo, who's a majority of the team. Yeah. I don't want to bash him too bad because there is a lot of parity in that league, and it will be entertaining to watch. But at the same time, am I going to choose a TCU versus a Kansas State, which honestly isn't a terrible game, but it's not as good as what you would see with an Auburn versus a Georgia, which those guys don't want to see that rivalry go.
I mean, this whole week is a look-at-me kind of deal, but Sankey started it off with, I mean, look how much better the SEC is and the Big Ten is. He ran off a stat to start the week off that said that 70% of college football TV viewership was amongst the SEC and the Big Ten alone.
Yeah.
That the rest of the sport only is consumed by 30% of the viewers.
That's wild.
And that whole 20-minute gambit he did was look at how powerful we are.
They're getting out the measuring sticks and all of that stuff. But I mean
we're in the middle of an argument battle where everybody's doing that. Yeah. And you kind of have to.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to throw you to the studio. Joe Hunk's out there. Wish he could be right here next to me.
What a radio name, Joe Hunk.
I know. Joe Hunk and John Abraham.
That's elite.
That's a good lineup. Joe, what do you got for him?
Well, I was wanting to ask about Eli because we were talking about this. Look, man, guy's got personality. We know he can develop players. We've seen him have back-to-back 10-win seasons. Like, what more does this man have to do to actually get more than 14 people in a room?
Not get the 9 a.m. slot on Thursday, maybe.
Seriously.
This is a bad rotation for my guy.
Yeah.
No, but I think it's a matter of consistency. Like, look, man, we're only in, year 4 of Drink as a head coach, period. Wasn't it 1 year at App State? Win 12 games, get the job at Missouri.
It was quick. It was
very, very quick. Year. So we haven't, I mean, to be honest, everybody knows about Drink, but we haven't seen Drink for even a half a decade yet. He's very new to this, man. He's very new to being a head football coach in the limelight. But I'm with you, man. I think I've always looked at Missouri as an 8-win football program.
Yeah.
Especially in this conference. If you exceed that metric, you're a daggum good football coach. And if you do it multiple times over, you're daggum good.
10 wins.
Well,
10 wins.
And you're talking about 2 new quarterbacks coming in. Well, one coming off Tommy John surgery, if Sam Horn's even going to be the option.
Big Sam Horn guy right here. Big Sam Horn guy.
Again, he's got until July 28th to make a decision if he's going to go to the Dodgers or if he's going to be going to Missouri. He's got to make that decision. But if he comes out and has another 10-win seasons, how can you continue to ignore the guy?
And the good thing for Missouri fans is if you have multiple 10-win seasons at Missouri, somebody might sniff around you at a quote-unquote bigger job. But what one of those jobs is coming open anytime soon? You know what I mean? You might be able to hold
on. Auburn to come open.
Is it
Florida, LSU? I mean, if something crazy happens,
would Mizzou go? Would Eli go from Mizzou to Auburn?
No.
I don't think that would be that much of an
upgrade. The boosters
at
Auburn would kill him.
That, and they just got $250 million to put into their football facilities. And you mentioned Sam Horn. I think Eli told the media today he's going to turn down that draft. He's coming back to football. So
he said, "Screw it, man."
That's why he was drafted so low. It's because Eli said his representation, his agent, was letting everybody know, "Hey, unless you're about to draft me in the top 90, like I'm not. I'm going back to college." Yeah. Just tore his Tommy John ligament. So.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Brooks Austin with us as we continue to talk a little bit of SEC Media Days recap, because, of course, final day, we got to get all of this stuff in. And LSU, a lot of people thinking very highly of this team. Garrett Nussmeier, like you said, only returning veteran quarterback to really come in. How much are you buying in on this squad? Brian Kelly going in.
I haven't been asked an LSU question, so I haven't been able to unleash this one.
Okay.
What do you connect LSU football with? Like, if I say, hey, what is LSU football about? Like, position, for example, what would you connect them with?
I'd say wide receivers.
Yeah. What about defensive side of football? What would you connect them with?
I'd say cornerbacks or safeties.
Yeah, like DBU, right?
Yeah,
like they would put out. It's been
Honey Badger don't give them.
That's right. How about this? It's been 3 years since the LSU Tigers have had a defensive back drafted in the top 90 of the NFL draft. You got to go back 25 years of that program to have that stretch of no elite defensive back talent.
Wow.
It's staggering to me because, like, I know they've got great wide receivers. The state's going to produce that ad nauseum. Like, you can go outside of Baton Rouge, throw a rock, hit a 4-star wide receiver right in the forehead.
Well, he'd catch it.
Yeah, he's going to catch it. You daggum right. But the idea that LSU's not producing elite DBs to me is a little bit concerning. Elite DBs and, like, elite defensive linemen. Like, they don't. They had a really good edge rusher last year. I know Harold Perkins had a great stat year as a true freshman as a rusher, but he's an off-ball linebacker now. It's just very interesting to me that an SEC program that I connote with defensive back talent just doesn't have. Like, right now, their best projectable drafted corner is DJ Pickett. He's a true freshman. He's a 5-star. Now, if they mess that one up, I don't know. It's just weird to me.
Well, when your defense is giving up 30 to 40 points and your offense might be doing the same, putting up 30 to 40 points, I mean, what's the reason to even stay? When you can look at a different school within the SEC or the Big Ten, what's the reason you would want to stay unless Brian Kelly really just leaves a really good note with his all of that, the food that they got.
I mean, there could be a point to that, and just in terms of, like, going back to the discussion we had earlier, like, I used to connote Georgia with elite offensive line talent. Like, I covered Georgia. I've been there 7 years. The first 5 years I was there, 5 years in a row, they had a first-round draft pick at the offensive line position. We've gone 2 years in a row without that. Like, I connote Georgia with good offensive line play. They couldn't run the ball last year. So
yeah, which is strange
when everybody can come in your state and everybody can recruit the same guys that you're recruiting and everybody's on par. If you like this 5-star, but I like him more and I can allocate resources to him enough, then I get him. No matter how close he is to your school, no matter how long you've recruited him. We just saw this with Georgia, right? They are LBU. If you've played linebacker, if you've started at Georgia the last 7 years under Glenn Schumann, you are currently on an NFL roster.
No doubt.
You're currently on an NFL roster. They've recruited Tyler Atkinson since that kid was 14 years old. He's a Texas Longhorn. That kid is never a Texas Longhorn, ever in the history of recruiting, except for the last 3 or 4 years. So, like, that type of difference in recruiting and player acquisition, I think, is why we're seeing some of these schools that are notoriously known for certain positions all of a sudden look up and they're like, wow, we're thin at this spot. That's crazy.
Yeah. Joe, what you got?
Brooks Austin joining us right now at the table at SEC Media Days, and Texas A&M is basically going to wrap this thing up. Like, that is going to be the end of this. Team was fantastic for a half a season, and then their defense just, I don't know, took the rest of the summer off. I have no idea. What can this team do? Again, we're talking about Eli being a 10-win team. I mean, Texas A&M, how far away are they from being a 10-win, 11-win team?
I have said this all week about A&M. I just want consistency. Like, I'm not demanding that Mike Elko make a playoff or anything like that. Like, just can you show up and be a consistent building football team? Like, even under the Jimbo Fisher era, we knew why it was that way. Very chaotic situation going on there, obviously. I thought Mike Elko was going to be the parent that was brought into the household to settle the kids down and get the house in order. Like, can you show up every single week and be a building football team? I don't want to see one week where you're winning games where you were a 7-point underdog, and the next week we're in a fourth quarter fist fight when we're a 14-point favorite. Like, can we just not do that stuff? And I'll be buying Texas A&M stock next year. This year, I'm more of a Marcel Reed's going to be fun.
It will be.
Le'Veon Moss going to be fun.
Yep.
And have some fun. But, other than that, we'll see.
Let's just hope those talented backfield players stay healthy this year around, because I would love to see it as well. It's like a Lamar Jackson type.
He was supposed to be here, by the way, Le'Veon Moss.
Really?
Yeah, he was supposed to be here.
What's up with that?
Well, he kind of got into trouble.
Oh.
And I don't know if he's going to be here. That's the only story. I was talking about it's kind of a no-news week.
Yeah.
Elko's going to have to answer some questions.
Yeah. There's a few of those things. Auburn had somebody that had gotten a little bit of trouble, too.
But that happened right after Hugh got up off the stage, so he didn't have to answer no questions about that.
It's true.
Also, by the way, I think I saw on the internet that police report disappeared.
Just disappeared.
Just no longer able to be found.
Maybe Epstein knows something about that one.
Yeah.
Either way, we got a little bit of time with you, and I know we're out in Huntsville, Alabama, and they want to hear what this Alabama team's truly got. I know we talked about the head coach.
Yeah.
What about the talent on the actual team?
So when I look at the roster, I don't see a lot of holes. Right, like going into the offseason, you'd be like, well, they were really young last year, defensive back. They were, but they took their lumps. I feel like they played all those guys for a purpose.
Yeah.
Like, let's get this young defensive back core that's really, really talented, a bunch of lumps. Now, it helped that my man that transferred from USC, Damani Jackson, it helped that young core get a lot of reps because Damani got hurt last year. But that would have been an area of concern I look at. But I think that this year they're not only very, very deep, they have very few holes as a roster. Everyone looks at the quarterback position, but I have no doubt about what Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb, now that he's back, what they do with actual throwers and actual readers, like guys that can progress through reads, not guys that, hey, the number one read in the progression is not open. My legs are the best option we have left. I'm going to take off and run. And look, I would have coached Jalen Milroe the same exact way. I don't want you reading progressions, dude. You are the scariest human on the field if it ain't you throwing a 45-yard bomb to Ryan Williams. Your legs terrify everybody. Everybody out here is scared of you taking off, so let's just coach you that way. If the guy that I get the number one read in the progression is not open, you're number two. Take off and jet. I'm cool with that. But what DeBoer's system does in terms of, like, real passers, it's phenomenal. You go back and look at this dude's career as a play caller and offensive play designer the last 6-7 years I looked at it, all the way back to Jake Haener at Fresno State.
Jeez.
Okay? The last 7 years of college football, Kalen DeBoer offenses have thrown for more than 4,000 yards except for one, and it was last year at Alabama. Okay, he averages about 4,200 yards passing per year. If you take out last year, they threw for 2,800 yards last year. It was a total blip on the radar in terms of what the system looks like. Now, they ran the ball really well at times last year. They revamped their entire offense. I thought he did a really good job of accentuating the talent that is Jalen Milroe, but it ain't what he wants to do. Look at this dude's decisions on the recruiting trail. Look at the quarterbacks that he's taken. Right? I go back to not just Michael Penix, not just getting Austin Mack to reclass early and get to Washington, but do you remember who the last quarterback he took out of the portal was at Washington?
Who's that?
It was Will Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
Will Rogers.
Did he ever even play with him?
Well, he ended up going to Washington and playing under Fish, and then they went on to the young quarterback up there. But nonetheless, like, that's the style of quarterback that he wants, right? He wants an accurate, like, Will Rogers broke the completion record in the SEC. Like, that's the type of quarterback they want. He don't want some, or at least he doesn't ideally select super freak athletes that we got to work on being a passer. No, this dude wants point guards. That's what he recruits. That's what, by the way, Keelan Russell's a right-handed Michael Penix. That's what he is. That's what he's going to be.
I thought the exact same thing because he's got the legs if he needs them, but he's solely going to be in that pocket passing position. There's been a lot of trash talk this offseason.
Yeah.
And I love it. Okay, I do. These players get held back a little too much when it comes to trash talk. We don't get to learn too much about these players as a person and what they want to do. We got a lot of things from Castellanos, from Florida State.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it's coming, and I know a lot of it's coming from him just trying to pump up his team. But
yeah, that was the new quote yesterday.
Yeah,
he kind of backtracked it a little bit.
I mean, I feel like it makes sense. Okay, you're looking at a team that went, 2 wins last year. I mean, come on now. And now you're talking this highly about beating a team like Alabama. 4 years ago, you do this, you're dead. I mean, you end up dead.
It wasn't just the 2 wins last year. They were lifeless by week 3. I turned on the game last year against Memphis.
Why?
Well, it was a nooner, and the real games weren't starting until late August or late afternoon.
Yeah.
And one of the quad box situations, where you get 4 options.
I gotcha.
And I'm looking up, and they're playing Memphis at home. It's the first quarter. They're down 3, and they pan over to the stands. Nobody's there, and the first fan I see has a bag on his head. Walking into the stadium with a bag on his head.
That was an early game.
That's what I'm saying.
From the season.
I'm saying it was like week 3. They were lifeless last year. Lifeless. So yeah, I understand. No, I don't. I don't understand that. I don't understand. I don't understand the Castellanos thing. I understand the Florida State thing. Like, fans are fans. Fan is short for fanatical. They're going to do stupid stuff.
You have to understand. I'm a Browns fan, and we don't even always wear those.
You
bags.
Still claim them? We've been talking about. We had a segment on the show the other day. It was like. It was a kind of spin-off on the Michigan thing. Like, how far would your team have to go before you just shut it off? You stop watching them? And after 3 decades of sucking and then giving $250 million to Deshaun Watson, amidst all of that, I probably would have stopped watching the Browns. So good on you.
If you stick past...
Or maybe you're just not very smart.
Yeah, something's wrong up here.
I go with the latter.
Yeah.
If you stick past them...
for punishment, maybe?
S&M. It's quite nice. Past 2017, that's whenever I knew that I was just like, I can't not love this team. They lost every single game. Who was it? Hugh Jackson was the coach.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know where to go from here. So I was just like a kid left out in the cold.
Didn't he say, if we go winless, I'm jumping in the lake or whatever up there? Yeah. He had to do that?
Throughout his 3 years, he only won 3 games.
That's tough.
Yeah, it is tough, but we're not talking about the Browns. We're talking about the SEC. Final thoughts before we get you out of here of this upcoming season. What's a hot take, something crazy that's going to happen, or what's the main rhetoric around 2025?
Is it a hot take that I think Lenore Sellers is the best quarterback in college football?
Is that Cam Newton 2.0?
I wouldn't go there. Mm-hmm. Cam, he gets a lot of Cam, and he gets a lot of. There's another big, tall, lanky, tough-to-tackle quarterback, but that's not what this guy is. This guy is a muscle hamster. He's 6'3". He's 245 pounds. He's thick. Did you see him walking around here?
Yes, I did.
He's a thick dude.
I saw him and DJ Lagway. I was just like, which one's bigger? Because both of those guys are gigantic.
Very large. The difference to me is, like, Lagway's got a ton of twitch in the arm. He's got a ton of horsepower in the arm. Sellers has so much short area quickness and long speed. Like, he's just so hard to tackle. I think Peter Woods is probably the best defensive tackle in college football this year. And last year, Lenore Sellers had that dude in a spin cycle. Just could not touch him. And the one time he did, he had his big old bear claws, both hands on the back of his jersey, over his shoulder like a hockey fight. And Lenore Sellers just slipped out of it and then turned around, made 2 safeties fall in their face, ran for 65 yards.
That's crazy.
And he's developing as a passer, like last year's first-year starting. And first-year starting as a guy who needs to continue to work as a passer. He's a 63-plus completion percentage guy in a really, really, deep passing offense.
Yeah.
So I'm impressed. I think that guy's going to be great.
I agree with you. I don't know how much. I talked so bad about him last year, though. I did. And it's because the
fumbles early were real tough.
Yeah.
Almost any time he got hit, he was putting the ball on the ground. That was scary.
But I say this, before the Cam Newton conversations, I was saying this is more like a Tim Tebow. But he can throw the ball as well.
So much twitchier than those guys, man.
Yeah.
So
in something box, totally different.
Slippier and twitchier, totally different. When we studied them on our channel, and look, I'm not saying we have featured every athlete in college football over the last 7 years, but I've seen them on tape. I've watched them. If they're great, I've turned it on to be curious about it, right? Closest thing to Ashton Genty in terms of open field, can't get the guy on the ground. And the difference is, Genty, everybody was aiming to hit that guy as hard as he can, right? And couldn't get a good surface area on him to strike him.
Yeah.
All right, and great, balance and great contact balance, right? But Lenoris is a quarterback So when he's out there in open space, you can watch on tape. You can see defensive backs being like, ooh, if I lead with my head, I'm automatically out of this game. It's a quarterback. They protect these guys. I can't hit this dude like I hit the other ball carriers. And he's 245 pounds.
Yeah, I don't know if getting put out of the game is your biggest concern there.
No. You got to get the guy on the ground.
Yeah.
You got to get the guy on the ground somehow, some way. And teams have a real tough. Like, I think those 6 box defenders for Clemson last year, from Barrett Carter to Peter Woods to Peyton Page to the T.J. Parker, they're all NFL guys. Sammy Brown's going to be an NFL guy. They're all going to play on Sundays. Made them all look helpless and hopeless in that football game as a ball carrier.
Brooks, wonderful conversation, bro. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man.
Where can people find all your work?
Yeah, I'm on all social media at Brooks Austin BA. Are you an X or Twitter guy? I'm a Twitter till I die guy. Like the San Diego Chargers. You're just going to be there, baby.
I say Twitter, but I'm thinking the X,
Interesting.
I don't know.
I'm a Twitter guy at Brooks Austin BA. But the main place I want to direct your audience to is the Film Guy Network on YouTube. We do great stuff over there for all college football fans.
Great stuff, Brooks.
Yeah,
awesome stuff from you.
No doubt.
The people are going to go and watch all of your content, so you better have a really good video. The last one you had, it better be amazing. We got to hop into a break. Oh, thank God. I want to see this guy. I'll get lost in his eyes, no lie. We got to take a break. When we come back, close out the first hour, head into the second. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone, live from SEC Media Days here in Atlanta.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham. You can watch The Blitz live now on X at 97.7 ESPN.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
When you call most roofing companies, all you'll hear is, you need a new roof. Not when you call Fleming. At Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we're focused on your needs, whether it's an easy repair or a full roof replacement. Folks around here have trusted Fleming since 1965 for all their residential and commercial roofing needs. And as the area's storm damage experts, Fleming knows all the ins and outs of the insurance claims process. Log on FlemingHSV.com to schedule your free estimate today. Fleming Roofing and Restoration. We show up.
Sure, Valley Equipment Rental takes care of the homeowner and his needs, but how about the pros out there? Well, Valley Equipment has the big stuff as well. The equipment you need to get any job done. I'm talking about the big track hoe excavators, from the 30,000-pound mid-size one to the big boy 50,000-pound units. Need a dozer on the job? Well, they've got them up to 105 horsepower, and that's a good-sized machine. Plus, Valley Equipment has more lifts than anyone around. Up to 80-foot booms that reach 56 feet with a 10,000-pound capacity. 2 locations, North and South Parkway. Check them out today.
Hey folks, this is Arthur Seaton, managing partner at University Kia, proudly saying Roll Tide and War Eagle. Stop into University Kia today and shop one of the area's largest selection of new Kias, including Fortes, Seltos, Telluride, and Popular Carnival, and fully electric EV6. View all the great specials at universitykia.com and get pre-approved in minutes so you can drive home your new Kia you really want, because we want to see you in a University Kia.
Tom Abraham here from my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18-cubic-foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to OwenAppliance.com to learn more. That's OwenAppliance.com. You've seen those beautiful epoxy floors in a garage or carport area and have probably wondered, how can I get that done? Well, the answer is Lifetime Epoxy Floors. Lifetime Epoxy Floors is an A-plus rated business with the Better Business Bureau and has been family-owned for over 14 years. They do both residential and commercial applications and get most jobs done in a day. Lifetime Epoxy Floors' motto is, we love what we do, and it shows. Visit LifetimeEpoxyFloors.com to schedule a free estimate today and check them out on Facebook.
Are you tired of power outages disrupting your life? It's time for a Generac standby generator from Current Electrical. Storms may rage outside, but inside your family's powered up. So why choose Current Electrical for your generator needs? 1, we offer a wide range of models to suit every budgeted energy requirement. 2, our project managers handle every step of the process: power, gas, permitting, and inspections. 3, our certified technicians install your generator with precision, ensuring peace of mind. Don't wait for the next blackout. Call 256-880-1880 or visit us online at GenSuperstore.com.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. A couple of isolated showers are going to be possible. Otherwise, it's going to be another July afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-90s. Heat indices climbing anywhere between 105 and 109. We only drop into the mid-70s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Friday. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Listen to the Rocket City Trash Pandas all season long.
Swung on, rocketed, left center field. That's going to get down and go to the wall. Montanel at first. He's on his way to second, and he'll pull in. There's the first ever cycle in Trash Pandas history.
Trash Panda Baseball is only on Talk Radio WZZN.
You can't let everyone step foot in your house, more so in your life. Why you really knocking at my door?
Hello and welcome back into the Blitz. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, 2 hours straight, 1 hour down here live from Atlanta at the SEC Media Days 2025. Here at the College Football Hall of Fame, which I think is a wonderful venue for this event. It's just... There's just so much, though, and it kind of can take you out of the experience a little bit. It's just a lot of football. A lot of football. It keeps you in. It's like it's just injected right into your veins. But, finding where you need to go is still day 4. It's a little bit confusing. We just had Brooks Austin on. He is the film guy. He works with SI.com and does a wonderful job. Did a wonderful job. Made me laugh. I made him laugh. I think that was an achievement. But tomorrow you can look forward to more guests here from the area because we're getting Jake Crane on. That'll be a lot of fun. We're also going to be getting on Josh Pate, hopefully. Okay, we're getting that set up. We were supposed to get him on the last segment of this hour, but didn't work out perfectly, and it's totally fine. And both of those guys also make quite a few appearances over on Talkin' Ball, so you guys can also look forward to them throughout the college football season. Joe, are we going to do a ranking of the quarterbacks for today? Because got to say, I'm not really looking forward to that one if we are.
No, that wasn't part of the questions that I kind of came up with for the final day
of
SEC Media Days, mainly because there's no way you can rank Missouri's. Calzada is arguably the worst quarterback in the SEC. And then you start looking at the way that these teams have been designed. There's a lot of questions about all of them. So
I'm saying Taylor Green's number 1, and the other ones are just going to kind of be scattered throughout the rest.
And again, look, you say Taylor Green is number 1. I still sit back and I can say Marcel Reed is a lot better than what people remember.
I will say Marcel Reed at his best is better than Taylor Green. But I think that Taylor Green average is better than Marcel Reed. That's what I think. And also I think that the guy he's shaped like a football player, whereas Marcel Reed, I don't know if he's a guy that can make it to that next level at the size that he has. But he is very talented. He's very speedy, and you want to use him for what he's got. But I'd look at Taylor Green, and I still think there's so much potential, and I know. Potential is sometimes the worst word you want to hear, especially when the guy's going into his junior year. But I think that this guy is going to be pretty good. It's just to see if he's able to progress within his quarterback career at an Arkansas instead of maybe another school that might want to utilize him a little bit more correctly. I don't know.
I am just under the belief that what Texas A&M is doing, I know that they just get destroyed by everybody. They're the fun punching bag. Again, you had almost a decade head start on Texas and getting into the SEC, and they still make it to the SEC championship before you do. It's that sort of stuff with them. I know that they're the little brother inside of Texas, but if this team and this defense doesn't perform as bad as what they did in the second half of the season last year, Texas A&M would have been a college football playoff team. In all seriousness, because you look at, I don't know why the defense. And I think that's a question that I hope gets asked throughout the day today is, what in heaven's name happened in the locker room? Like, what happened? We know about with Tennessee, like we heard the stuff that came out from their tight end a couple of days ago about, hey, like, look, there was no leadership in the locker room.
There was none.
And there's a reason for that. So, it was a lack of leadership on the defensive side. Like, how do you go from having and allowing, 17 points a game to then allowing 30 and 35 points every single game? It's one of those things that was just astronomically bad. And again, I know that people are going to want to discount them. This is a day where these are, at least two of these teams are the teams that people don't want to think about. But come October and November, you're going to look at this and go, crap, this is not as bad as I thought. This makes me nervous on Saturday.
I'm thinking tomorrow, Joe, we do our little rankings of the teams, our final thoughts on whether or not.
How about we get Randall Cobb? Can we get Randall Cobb?
I'm going to look for Randall Cobb, and damn it, I'm going to try and get him on. I swear on that. But Ike Jones as well, going to be joining us in the second hour. Stick with us here on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone.
This is The Blitz with Joe Hump and John Abraham. 256-576-4977.
The company is Eagle Masonry and Insulation, but did you know they're also Eagle Landscaping and Dirt Work? Eagle can take care of all your landscaping needs, including irrigation, sod work, and planting, both plants and trees. On the dirt work side, Eagle can grade and build your pads, haul dirt in or out, and even do erosion control. Philip Love and his team can do it all for you. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Your customers deserve the best, and so do you. You invest in your customers with your heart, soul, and skill. Well, it's time to invest in yourself with the next generation Cat 255 compact track loader from Thompson Tractor. After all, those who give their best deserve the best, and this machine has it all. With features that include a more powerful engine, tri-axle truck loading capabilities, a spacious cab, and a smooth ride for all-day comfort. Best of all, now Thompson Tractor is making that investment even better with our Workhorse Special. Get 0% financing for 36 months on the purchase of a new Cat 255 compact track loader that comes with a 3-year warranty. You also get a 74-inch bucket and 1,000-hour filter kit. But hurry, this offer is only good through June 30th. Visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor. We're here for you.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
Tom Luganbill here for my friends at Woody Anderson Ford. Bobby White and his team take great pride in their service department, and you can see it the moment you walk into those beautiful new service lanes. And just like a championship team, they all work together to make sure your experience is second to none, whether you drive a Ford or not. Also, check out the gold certified pre-owned inventory at Woody Anderson Ford for great deals every day. Stop by and see them at Jordan and Sparkman or at Woody Anderson of Madison on Hughes Road, or visit WoodyAndersonFord.com.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. Golfer Wyndham Clark has been banned from Oakmont Country Club after he damaged his locker following a missed cut at the U.S. Open last month. The ban could be lifted if Clark pays for damages, makes a meaningful contribution to a charity selected by the Oakmont Country Club board, and undergoes counseling and or anger management therapy. Oakmont is scheduled to host the U.S. Open again in 2033. A rare public response by Bill Belichick to recent comments by Patriots owner Bob Kraft that he took a big risk hiring Belichick in 1999 as head coach. In a statement to ESPN, Belichick said it was he who took the big risk, joining a flailing NFL franchise with few resources that was $10 million over the salary cap. WNBA Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark set for further evaluation today after leaving last night's win with a groin injury.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Never went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal.
The Drive in Atlanta is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Rise Real Estate, and Adams. We know great homes. Eagle Masonry and Insulation will save you money. Jacob Title, the place to call for all your closing needs. And by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we show up.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says because try losing one of those little games, and if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Your Fox 54 weather, brought to you by Tellini's Italiano.
I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. A mostly to partly sunny sky this afternoon. A couple of isolated showers are going to be possible. Otherwise, it's going to be another July afternoon. Temperatures climbing into the low and mid-90s. Heat indices climbing anywhere between 105 and 109. We only drop into the mid-70s as we head into the overnight. A partly sunny sky for your Friday. Temperatures climbing into the low 90s. Scattered showers and thunderstorms.
Your Fox 54 weather, only on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Log on today, 977ESPN.com. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. Welcome to the Blitz.
Second hour, final hour, best hour on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and the Blitz. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, which is out at SEC Media Days in Atlanta as they're about to be heading back here in just a few hours from right now. As we are wrapping up Media Days, you do have Mark Stoops at the podium, and nobody cares, so we're not going to be playing any of that.
Come on, no, come on.
Nobody cares.
No more Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, not one single person cares.
Yeah, they only care about basketball.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I don't even think they know about SEC Media Days for football. So Calzada is going to be their starting quarterback. Stoops is going to be here this afternoon. It's going to be Arkansas. Sam Pittman is going to be starting that off. You're going to hear that at the very beginning of the Tom Abraham show, starting at noon. And then right after that is going to be Texas A&M. And John is continuing to try to find Randall Cobb.
Oh, it's kind of out the window.
Yeah.
I think he's getting ready to get on set. Turns out Steve actually scheduled him prior to Media Days even going off.
So you're saying he did some stuff before SEC Media Days when he got there. Gotcha.
Yeah, he did. And I'm not going to complain about it. Look, Brooks was great. It was a great guest. And honestly, it probably would have been me just staring into Randall Cobb's eyes the entire time and not, saying a question. So that's the big problem. That's the big problem with a guy like him. But it's good to see, him switch over to the media. Of course, he played plenty of years with the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers. And on top of that, he transferred over to, well, I say transferred. This is hilarious. He didn't transfer. He got traded or he got let go, hopped on with the the Dallas Cowboys, and then, of course, joined on the Jets with Aaron Rodgers yet again for a second stint, and then retired in 2023. I don't even think he's officially retired, but he's in the media now, and who knows, like Nick Saban might come back to coaching or playing, which is not going to happen. I don't know why Nick Saban hasn't said anything about it, but, I think he likes to keep his options open.
Well, is he there?
No.
Okay, then that's the reason why I hadn't said anything. I mean, he genuinely he doesn't have to. Like he's doing his thing right now. Like he doesn't have to say a single thing about anything. Like he's not even at SEC Media Days. He's been retired now. This is his second SEC Media Days where he's not been a head coach, and somehow he turns into the biggest story of the entire weekend.
I know.
And so that's he doesn't have to say anything whatsoever. It's not his place to say anything. So, unless he was there on set for Alabama Day, kind of like Randall Cobb is going to be on set for SEC Media Days for Kentucky Day, then there's no reason for him to even have to make a statement in that because he'll do that whenever he comes up at the next point in time where he's having a public appearance where he can say something.
Yeah, and I thought this was pretty funny since we're talking about players from the NFL. One player got traded the other day, or he joined on with the team. And his former team, being represented here today in the form of Texas A&M. Joe, you know who I'm talking about, right? You know who I'm talking about.
No, I'm focused on SEC Media Days, John. So who are you talking about?
I'm talking about Von Miller. Played at Texas A&M.
Gotcha.
They have his jersey hung up right now, showing the fans, the greatness that Texas A&M has had. Which defensively, I will admit, Texas A&M has had some greats. Offensively, when it comes to going to the NFL, I feel like they always kind of flop, but that's besides me. Von Miller hopped on with the Washington Commanders, though, which I think is very interesting. They've got now Bobby Wagner and Von Miller, both of these guys, in the later half of their careers, but I think will add a little bit to this Washington defense, which I'm looking forward to, but again, I digress.
Did you see the article that Heather Dinich did? I can't remember if it came out early this morning or yesterday from the conversation that she had with Commissioner Sankey at SEC Media Days.
I did not. What did she have to say?
Well, it was a lot of the talk was obviously about the college football playoff, and we've heard about that with Eli Drinkowitz already this morning. He was talking about it, but also the fact that the deadline that the SEC and the other commissioners have to make a decision about 2026. Do you know what that date is?
I'm not 100% sure, but are you referring to 8 games and 9 games?
Well, that is connected in this because it is all coming down to the decision that has to be made on the college football playoff by November 30th. Mm-hmm. So November 30th is the deadline that the commissioners and the NCAA and everybody else that's a part of this has to actually make the decision on if the conference or the college football playoff is going to expand to 16 in 2026.
Again, I think this is something that is going to happen inevitably, whether it's 2026. I think that this hits the right cycle. If it does happen in 2026, I would not be against it. But it depends now on the order in which teams will get in. But continue, Joe, before we get into that.
Well, and the reason why I did bring it up is because if they do not agree on a new model, the current model that we have right now is what we will be using in 2026.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
So now here's the interesting part about it. One, Sankey told Dinich that, and he may have mentioned this elsewhere, but I mean, it's the first time I've actually seen it written out, that the SEC's decision on expanding to 9 playoff game or 9 SEC games or staying at 8 SEC games is all dependent on that decision of going to 16 or remaining to 12.
Well, then it comes into the point where I was going to 5-11, or would you do the 4-4-2-2, and what is it, the 1-1? Is it the 2 1s? You're the math guy. If it's going to be the 11-5 or the 5-11, then I'd keep it at what it is. I'd keep it at 8 games. There's no reason to switch over to 9 games because, listen, Joe, I had a good conversation with Wes Neighbors, and you get a lot of good insight out of a guy who's a traditionalist like this. And I know you don't like those POS games, and a lot of people don't either. But if you switch it to 9 games, aren't you just putting on another challenging opponent? I mean, you look at the Big Ten, they might be facing off against their conference for more than the SEC does, but at the same time, the Big Ten isn't at the same level as the SEC. We talk about parity in the Big 12. Yeah, there's parity. In the SEC, though, literally everybody is good. And everybody could probably make it to the playoffs if, we just kind of let them play against the easier opponents. So, there's that. Whereas if you go to 9, I think that you'd need to go to the 4-4-2-2 model, which I don't think is 100% fair. College football is not fair in the first place. It's whoever has more money. But the 4-4 model would then put in 4 teams from the SEC. And then it wouldn't matter if you play 9 games, 10 games, 11 games against conference opponents. You are still going to get in because everybody is aware that you are a part of the best conference in all of college football. And that's 100% sure. That's 100% proven right now.
Well, I am not against the POS game. I think that it should be moved to a preseason game before the season starts, and we should get rid of spring games. That's my belief. You should play that game in something that doesn't matter where that team gets paid, because that's the only reason these games still happen. And you then go into a football schedule of 12 games against P4s or A4s is what we now call them now. So, the A4 opponents or somebody that, we find a criteria of a team that is not a part of an A4, that if they meet this criteria, then it is okay for you to be able to put them on your schedule. Like, for instance, let's just use Boise State since they played in the college football playoff. If Boise State has, whatever equation we make out of this, like a BCS type thing, and they meet that criteria, then it is okay for a A4 to sign them on or to try to create a contract to have a home and home or something like that along with them. Then that's something like that, because here's my thing is, we say no days off, like we always say that. Yeah, a game against ETSU is a day off. That just is. And I don't understand why we're so afraid of having 12 good football games in a football season when you're asking us to pay astronomical amounts. And what do we hear every single year? Oh, well, season tickets are going up. Okay, cool. So did they add a good opponent? No, we get San Jose this time. Oh, cool. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I'm not watching that game. So, that's where this whole thing lies in it is, the POS games, they need to be some sort of a preseason spring game type thing where the university can make money off of it, and you can pay that school where they help with their athletic fund.
Are you thinking they should keep them at 2 or 3, or do you think that they need to cut off one of them and then just have one preseason game?
Oh, no, I just say one period. Like one preseason game. You can have the option to have 2, but I think that would be way too many. But I think that you should have one preseason game. I think that should be against a POS opponent.
What happens, though? Again, this is something that goes back to my conversation with Wes, and I'm a little bit more for some of these POS games. It's a little bit more of a breather. But I look at them, and you got to think, if you cut off half of these games, maybe even more than half of these POS games across all of college football, that gets to the point where there are a lot of teams that are not making the money that they would make if they were playing all of these, P4 teams or whatever you want to call them, A4 teams. I'll call them A4. Is that what we're going with? Is that the thing now?
Yeah, it's A4. Yeah,
okay,
because
sure.
It doesn't matter whatever the deal is going to be. There's going to be 4 conferences that automatically get their teams in, and then you're going to have that 5th one in there.
Gotcha.
And look, it's.
But again, this is about the money for those smaller schools, because you're going to see some of these places have to fold because they're not getting the money that we're seeing come to the SEC or the Big Ten.
Well, no, they don't have to fold. Again, you make a deal, as in, this contract is for $1 million or $2 million. Like, this is what you are getting, and you are going that, because if we're talking about A4s, with there's 16 teams in the SEC, there's 16, and I think the Big 12, and I can't remember how many teams are now actually considered part of that A4. But you're going to have the ability to have every single one of those turn around and play a non-A4. They're going to have a lot of that availability there. And, again, if you're talking about in 2025 expanding and adding more games, well, I would be way more willing to pay for a season ticket if I'm getting A4 games every single week. And you're telling me that we've expanded the playoffs now where I get first dibs at any sort of playoff home game? Like, absolutely. Like, now we're starting to talk about something that's way more than the investment than it is to go down and just be like, yep, this is the game we bring the kids to. This is the one where it's because we can sit up in the section at the very top for $1.05, just so that we can watch this. It doesn't, seriously.
The kids enjoy that. Everybody else, on the other hand,
and I get that
they're
they do.
Get drunk.
And look, and just because you're an A4 doesn't mean that you're not going to have a quote-unquote off week, but you're more likely to have a good football game there than you are if Samford plays Alabama, or if you see a Jack State go in, or UNA go in and play an Auburn or an Alabama or a Tennessee.
Yeah. Well, Auburn has a few POS games, Ball State, South Alabama. You look down the list a little bit farther, they're playing Mercer. It's some of the usual suspects, but the rest of their schedule, it's not too tough, but it's also not very favorable. And, of course, Hugh Freeze needs to find a win in that Week 1 matchup against Baylor. To help us talk a little bit more about this team and what we've heard about this team throughout the week is Ike Jones.
And a certain arrest that happened overnight.
Yeah, that's pretty important, too. But, arrests in college football around the SEC media days, the
only reason this is a big deal is because it's not your third-string linebacker that's on the practice squad. This is actually like a starter.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a very big deal if the accused crime is true.
Yeah. Ike Jones joins us from the War Report when we get back here on the Blitz, live from SEC Media Days here in Atlanta at the College Football Hall of Fame. We'll see you guys over there.
Joe Hunk, John Abraham, 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
I'm here with Stan McDonald of Jacob Title. Stan, I've heard that every real estate closing at Jacob Title is a very big deal. Why is that?
Wes, I'm reminded of a very impactful statement that I heard from Coach Gene Stallings years ago when he talked about big games and little games. He said he didn't like that comparison. He says because try losing one of those little games, and if you ever do, it ends up being the biggest game all year long. Well, it's the same thing with real estate closings. Every game, every closing is a very big deal at Jacob Title. Because when it's your closing and your contract on the line, it's a very big deal, and we understand that at Jacob Title.
So it sounds like whether your client is a first-time residential buyer or a multi-million-dollar investor, they can expect your A game.
That's exactly right. As a matter of fact, when you bring your real estate closing to us at Jacob Title, we understand it's all about trust and confidence. And when Stan McDonald tells you that a chicken dips snuff, you can look under his wing for the box.
And like Beebs likes to say, there's no doubt about it.
Tom Abraham here for my friends at North Alabama Mortgage. Are you thinking about home improvements? Well, use your equity now and refi later. Or use your equity to eliminate consumer debt forever, then refi to a lower rate and shorter term when rates drop. North Alabama Mortgage can also help you if you're thinking about buying an investment property or a second home at the lake or the beach or in the mountains. We have great programs to make that happen. Visit NorthAlabamaMortgage.com to learn more. That's NorthAlabamaMortgage.com.
Forgiveness. Wow, what a word. What a gift. All of us have done things in our lives that we regret. All of us have done things that are disobedient. All of us have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. Thank God for his forgiveness. Thank God that he separates our sins as far as the east is from the west and remembers them no more. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of Cross Point Church, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison. Check us out at cpcfamily.org.
Specializing in simple and affordable rentals, McCurry Van and Car Rental can make sure you have just the right vehicle for your next family vacation, weekend getaway, or if you just need transportation while your vehicle is being repaired. McCurry carries Ford Transit vans and Mercedes Sprinter vans, trucks and work vans, and more. And they offer discounted rental rates for long-term rentals. Now with 4 locations: Athens, Muscle Shoals, Coleman, and Huntsville. Log on McCurryRentals.com to make your reservation now. That's McCurryRentals.com.
If hunting and outdoor recreation are your passions, it all starts with the right property. That's where I come in. I am Bo Butler with Southland Realty and Auction, a hunting and recreational land specialist and a Jackson County native who sees land through a hunter's eyes. Just as you trust your guide on a big game hunt, you can trust me to find the perfect property for you. Thinking of selling? Let me help you make your land attract buyers. Remember, Bo knows land. Call me at 256-609-0512.
Hi, my name is Dan Aldridge. I'm here to let you know about the Aldridge Law Firm and the soon-to-be-announced Legal Town Center. I've been practicing law in Alabama since 1984, and I also practice in Tennessee. And I'm from North Alabama, and I'm here to represent you and take care of your legal needs. For many of us, hiring an attorney is not high on the priority list, and maybe a little scary. But it's something that we all need at some point. So by all means, do your homework. And if you need representation for car accident, wrongful death, medical malpractice, nursing home abuse, or estate planning, or any other matter, just give us a call at 256-534-3188. And you can email me at Dan, that is Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. Dan at danaldridgelaw.com. God bless America.
No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Y'all know me, still the same OG, but I've been low-key, hated on by most these with no cheese, no deals and no G's, no wheels and no keys.
SEC Media Day, final day in Atlanta as we continue on 97.7 ESPN The Zone. Joe Hunt back in studio. John Abraham over in Atlanta right now as we are joined by one Mr. Ike Jones to, just talk about things and Malcolm Simmons and, things and Malcolm Simmons. And so Ike, man, how's it going?
If you had asked me that question 24 hours ago, I'd have a very different answer. But things change. And so we're here and we're dealing with change.
Yeah. That was a very subtle way of putting it.
Didn't really think you'd be talking about Auburn on this day, did you? You just didn't think
listen, I don't mind talking about Auburn on this day. I just the topic of the conversation it being different is it's bothersome, right? And so for me, it feels like this situation today just kind of encompasses what we've seen so far in the Hugh Freeze tenure so far, which is, things are going really well. Disaster. Yeah. Things are going really well. Disaster. Right? Like, this feels like the Oklahoma game, right? Like, they come here, SEC Media Days, and, for all intents and purposes, great showing by Hugh Freeze up on the main stage. Players look really good out there in the media doing their thing. They're saying all the right stuff. And as soon as you leave, something crazy happens. And it's like, this is the Peyton Thorne pick six in Oklahoma. No. Right, it's just in another form.
Yeah, well, Oklahoma or the cow game? Like, we got the ball. Oh, crap.
No, it's the Oklahoma one because it's disastrous.
Yeah.
Like you lose the game because now I don't know how disastrous this is going to be to the overall outcome of what this team is going to be because that wide receiver room is stacked. But it's just not from a media perspective. It just derails the momentum that you thought you were having coming out of media.
And for a lot of people that don't know, when I mentioned Malcolm Simmons, if you have not heard, he was arrested on Wednesday, charged of domestic assault with strangulation or suffocation. Again, that is the story right now. If you don't know much about him, if you're outside Auburn, he played in 12 games last year. He almost had about 500 yards receiving. He had 3 touchdowns for Auburn. Projected to be one of the starting wide receivers in certain sets. So this is one of their key players in this, and obviously, like what Ike is talking about, this topic itself, because of the charges, it puts this on an entirely different level. Because, I mean, look, and I don't know what your feelings are, but there's a lot of people around the world in sports media now that believe you're in a situation like this where this is it and you are actually found guilty of it, or if we find out that this actually did happen, regardless if it's guilty or not, talking about like plea deals outside, this is kind of grounds for like dismissal from a team, cut from a football team in the NFL. Like that's the kind of place we are at right now.
Yeah, I mean, depending upon what the details are, I think regardless of what happens with the details, I think something has to happen, right? Like I think you at least got to suspend him, right? If it comes out that something real bad happened but no charges were pressed, then you got to lean towards the direction of dismissal for the team. And if there are charges pressed and all that sort of thing, then you definitely have to do that. And I think mainly because the climate around you just having to get DJ Barber up out of there recently with his arrest, the cloud that came with Hugh Freeze and a lot of what women around campus being like, oh, women aren't safe now at Auburn because Hugh Freeze is the coach. Like, you have to deal with this very aggressively. And so that's unfortunate. It's unfortunate for everybody involved because I don't want to see a young man's life get ruined over anything. Like, this has nothing to do with fandom for Auburn. This has to do with a young man's life, right? If this was at any other school, I'd have the exact same take about this. But yeah, it is what it is.
Well, and Ike, you talk about the seriousness of this, and especially in this world right now, like the reason why we're saying it the way that we're saying it is in like, look, here are the charges for it is because unfortunately in 2025, we've also found out that some people do lie about stuff. And we're not saying that the person that has come forward with this is lying or not, but you do want to see the truth because, I mean, look at what you're saying about there's a possibility of him being suspended, gone from the football program, the university having to make an example of it. Like, you're talking about let's just say he doesn't do anything, and I'm working both sides of this. You could literally be taking away a young man's future, his football career, and everything on a false charge. Now, I'm saying it that way because if this is true, then absolutely. But the climate that we're in now, we do know that both things happen in this area, so you can't jump to conclusions automatically.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the United States, right? You're innocent until proven guilty, but the problem is the optics make it where it doesn't. I don't know that it matters innocent or not.
Yeah,
right?
That's where the social media comes into play. And I remember your first year, my first year here, I know there was another big-time player, another wide receiver who got in a little bit of trouble. Different reasons, but it was Aniyah Smith from Texas A&M. And, I mean, it was just a DWI charge.
Literally, Aniyah Smith was supposed to be at Media Days. Hey, he gets the D.
Wasn't Nick Marshall supposed to be at Media Days, and then he gets cited for, like a possession of like an ounce of marijuana in his car like the weekend beforehand? Like,
crazy.
This isn't a Nick Marshall thing. This is a much different situation with this, but this is what happens in this period where everybody leaves campus or they're on campus and they have that opportunity to kind of, before the season and practice starts.
Well, backing away from, these tough topics, I do want to get into the team itself, how you felt about Hugh Freeze up on the podium, the way that he came out and talked to the media, because a lot of people, and I know Hugh Freeze is thinking this as well, I mean, it's funny. I was going to wait until the end of the show to talk about this, but there's a new football show that they're filming here at SEC Media Days, and I know you heard me probably say, whoa, this is crazy, they're filming a show back there. There was a little press conference that they were doing, and one of the press conference people, the media members, said straight up to the coach, looks like your seat's going to be pretty hot this year. Nobody would actually say that in a real SEC media days. But it was probably a thought that was maybe going through Hugh Freeze's mind. But just talk a little bit about how you felt about him approaching the media.
Yeah, so I think Hugh Freeze said everything he needed to say. But this is a thing I talked about, it was very widely talked about in the media, the conversations that he had prior to this about expectations for the season and pressure and all of those things. And in a viral moment when he was on with the next round, which I got to give props to my guy Mike G, who was on the show. He actually said this on our show like weeks before that, and it didn't go as crazy. But he says, of course we need to make a bowl game this year, right? And people lost their minds. They're like, what do you mean we're just going to make a bowl game? How could you need to have greater expectations? As soon as that went crazy, the first thing I said to people was, I guarantee you if Hugh Freeze had gone out in that exact same moment and said we should be a playoff team, people would be like, what do you mean you only won 5 games the year before? How dare you? It literally does not matter at this point in time what Hugh Freeze says. What he says is inconsequential. The only thing that matters is what that team does when the season starts. So, yes, I think he fine showing. Nobody cares because, again, he said all the right things, and people are still like, what do you mean? Oh, my God, Hugh Freeze is crazy. Because that's the nature of an upset fan base. You can't say the right thing to people when you're not winning. You just can't.
Yeah, and our social media definitely showed that with our listeners saying we'll see you with action. And I think a lot of people are feeling the same way about that, and I totally understand why, because there have been a lot of coaches. I think back to Jimbo Fisher that talk about all of this talk and what could happen and what will happen, and then it just doesn't happen, and it keeps not happening. So totally agree with you on that one, but since we do have the commissioner walking by right now, I think this is a perfect segue to get into the playoffs and what's going to come in the next few weeks. Most likely, it's this 8-9 game schedule in the SEC.
Yeah.
Your opinions on it?
It's not going to happen. I don't think the 9-game situation is going to happen in the near term because they can't figure out how to make it make sense for the playoff, right? And as the playoff sits right now, you got to think about last year when we're having this conversation in Dallas, people just knew the SEC was going to have, they could have as much as 5 teams in the playoff from the SEC. It didn't work out that way, right? And there's not going to be a situation where the SEC puts themselves in a disadvantaged situation for the postseason without figuring out how it makes them a ton more money.
Yeah.
And I just and maybe they'll sweeten the TV contract to be able to do that sort of thing. I just don't see it happening in the near term. And then on the other side of that, you got to think about what the ramifications might be for those pay games that they have every year for people, and how that cuts out a portion. Like, I just don't see it happening in the near term, even though I'm not opposed to it. So let me just say, I'm not opposed to the idea, but I understand how the people who are making these decisions think.
Yeah.
Can't see it happening.
How could we rush, that decision when we don't know what the playoffs are going to be in the next few years? Like 16 teams, I understand you raising the bar to 9 teams if it's the 4-4-2-2-1-1, but if it is just going to be the 5-11,
right,
that's where it's just kind of like, why would we do this?
Right, and then you're not going to get it. So, we had a conversation with Commissioner Sankey about this, and, the issue is consensus, right? And you're not right now. The ACC and Big 12 are dead set that they don't want they want to go as far away from a situation where the Big 10 and SEC get 4 autos and they only get 2.
Yeah.
They're not going for it. And the Big 10 seems pretty adamant that no, this is the route that we want to go. If they're not going to get consensus, we're not moving forward with it. And so we're going to be stuck with 12, which is completely fine in some people's minds, right? And they're just like, so I talked to Rich Clark, who is over the college football playoff. He's the executive director over there, and he was like, we're not in a rush to make a decision. It's not as if we can't just proceed with 12. So if we don't get consensus from everybody, we'll just move forward with what we got. No problem.
Everybody wants to see change happen. We're seeing it with college basketball. We're seeing it with college football. Just because we've already had so much change doesn't mean we need more, okay? Yeah. But Ike Jones from the War Report has been our neighbor all week long, and he has been a busy man, and you guys have had a lot of content. Talk about some of the content that you guys are showing off over on the War Report.
I just talked about the one with Rich Clark. We talked with McDade that was over the officials. We had Commissioner Sankey stop by. Hugh Freeze stopped by for a quick minute. Connor Liu from the Auburn team stopped by. Josh Pate, J.D. Piquel, Cole Kublik. I don't know.
The list goes on.
I could just rattle off a bunch of people. I mean, that's what we're here for. We're here to produce the content, and we're out here doing it. So it's been a good time getting to know some new people, talking to some old folks that we've been in contact with, all of those things. So it's been good.
Well, Joe, before we get Ike out of here, you got any more questions? Because you're the big Auburn guy, and I know a lot of your stuff focused around the bad. You want to talk about some of the good? Come on now.
Joe doesn't have anything good to say about Auburn. What are we saying?
No, here we go. Okay, this is going to be a way for us to spin something good, because Ike knows that a lot of the reason why I'm so down on Auburn has to do with the coaches that are on the sidelines and not so much the talent on the field. So, if we actually see development from Jackson Arnold, what do you think about this Auburn team now going into 2025?
Okay, so let me start with Brent Venables. Got an opportunity to go up there on the podium. He was asked about how they get right the ship there for Oklahoma this year, specifically offensively. And they didn't ask him about this specifically, but he proactively was like, let me just start by saying, I think Jackson Arnold and Michael Hawkins Jr. are phenomenal players, and I think that they're going to have great careers. I have no doubt Jackson Arnold's going to be a great player for many years to come. We didn't set them up for success because there was too much other stuff around them that was wrong. The offensive line, everybody was hurt on that offensive line. They were starting fresh for the offensive line to begin with.
That included the wide recievers.
Yeah, and then the wide receivers, they were like the top 6 guys on they're all. So he's
they had walk-ons going in there. It's crazy.
They had to fire the offensive coordinator halfway through the season. So yes, Jackson Arnold didn't have a great year, but it wasn't all his fault. No doubt he's going to be successful. So let's fast forward to the Auburn situation. Does he have a better offensive line? By the numbers, yes. Oklahoma's offensive line was the toilet paper here at the College Football Hall of Fame would do a better job of protecting you from crap stains than that offensive line did of protecting Jackson Arnold from oncoming rushers.
Joe, I think it's four-ply here at the College Football Hall of Fame. I'm just gonna.
That's some good stuff right there. That'll be able to soak up and absorb.
Still not good. And so the offensive line was not good for Oklahoma. And, like, you can look at whatever metric you want to. They gave up, like, the most sacks in the country. Like, it was just a bad offensive line. And then, again, all right, so let's say we protect them maybe okay for one game. Then the receivers are dog water as well, right? And so he just didn't have – so is he going to have a better offensive line? Yes, he will. Will he have better receivers to throw through? Yes, he will. Now the question comes, is he going to be put in the advantageous positions? That one's still yet to be answered, but just at the core of the base level, he should have a better performance this season. That doesn't mean that I trust him to be a college football playoff guy, but can he get the team to 7 or 8 wins? Sure.
Yeah,
I think that's possible. I think that's possible.
I mean, he hasn't shown us anything that would give us the reason to think that a playoff is inevitable. But at the same time, he has shown some talent. Before college football, I mean, this guy was one of the top quarterbacks coming out of high school. So there is a lot of things that I like about him, and I can't wait to see happen. Do you think this offense is going to shift any, though, from what we saw with the Peyton Thorne? Where do you think it's going to go to help out with Jackson Arnold's development?
Yeah, I think that's difficult to answer. Like, again, if we're talking about base level ability, he's a better quarterback than Peyton Thorne was, right? Like, he has better legs, he's got better arm strength, he's got more zip on his, like the release is quicker. He's got all the things at the base level, and he doesn't process the game worse than Peyton Thorne does. Like, Peyton Thorne, a little paralysis by analysis happening with him sometimes out there. And Jackson Arnold is a guy who can afford to be a little late because his arm's a little stronger. Because the running back room is still unproven, they may put a little bit more on him, though. And they were not afraid to throw the ball around last year with Peyton Thorne. I think they might increase that a little bit more this year. And so I don't know how much different it's going to look, but I do know what I do know is they're going to have more receivers on the field on a more consistent basis. So more 3 and 4 receiver sets are going to be happening this year to spread it out a little bit more. So we'll see, what that equates to as far as how often he throws the football. Hugh Freeze is hell-bent on being balanced. Like, he's just got this maniacal thing about, we got to be balanced. It's like, man, just go win football games, bro. I don't care how many times you run it. I don't care how many times you throw it. Win. Mm-hmm. Auburn fans are going to hate hearing me say that because they think that you have to run the ball 140 times a game in order to win football games. And, listen, man, just win.
Just win. Yeah. I like it. Ike Jones from the War Report has been our guest. What are you looking forward to for the rest of today? Because it is the final day, and, there's got to be something to look forward to.
Listen, I think Texas A&M is going to be a good football team this year. I'm a believer in Mike Elko and his defensive philosophies. I think that Marcel Reed is going to be a good quarterback, so I definitely want to hear about Texas A&M fans already think that they're going to be amazing every year, but they are especially excited about this season and what they have, particularly in the run game this year. So looking forward to hearing from Texas A&M for sure today. Can't say I'm particularly excited about any of the rest of them, though. I'm not going to lie to you.
What? Mark Stoops didn't have anything that really inspired you, that put a fire in your chest?
Mark Stoops. Forgive me, Mark, if you happen to listen to the show.
13 years for this team.
Mark Stoops is as if there were a picture of mid, it would be Mark Stoops. He is the middest of the mid.
Okay. So my tier list now is going to be an S, A, B, Mark Stoops, D, C, and then it goes from there. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Ike, always good, man, and this time getting to do it in person, even better.
Yeah.
Let the people know where they can find all your work.
Yes, indeed. WarReport.com is the website. We are at the War Report on all social media. I, myself, am TWR Ike Jones on X, and we are the Auburn Express on podcast, so you can follow us over there as well.
Good stuff as always, bro.
Yep, appreciate it.
Get back to work, finish it off, and then we can all go home today and get some rest for once.
Rest will be fun.
Yes, it will. Good stuff right there. Ike Jones, War Report. Great stuff as always. We got to take a break when we come back. Finishing off this finale over at SEC Media Days for the Blitz here in Atlanta. John Abraham, Joe Hunk, the Blitz on 97.7 ESPN, The Zone, and WZZN TV.
Phone lines are open now. 256-576-4977. This is The Blitz on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Never went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal.
The Drive in Atlanta is brought to you by Woody Anderson Ford, Alabama's F-150 Superstore, Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Rise Real Estate, and Adams. We know great homes. Eagle Masonry and Insulation will save you money. Jacob Title, the place to call for all your closing needs. And by Fleming Roofing and Restoration, we show up.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed the musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where AFS comes in, a groundworks company. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at afsrepair.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Isn't the story of the prodigal son an amazing story? Basically, a rowdy boy who literally wished his father dead, ran away, and consumed his wealth with hard and fast living. Yet the father looked for his return every day, and when the boy got tired of eating pig slop, he decided to return. What did the father do? As soon as he saw that boy, he ran to him, threw his arms around him, and killed the fatted calf for a great celebration. Hey, I'm John Dees, pastor of the Cross Point Church. If you're looking for a church home, come see us, smack dab across the street from the YMCA in Madison.
Tom Abraham here for my friend Mike Owen at Owen Home Appliance Center. You know it's hot outside, so cool down with an upright or chest freezer in stock at Owen Home Appliance Center. And don't let those beverages get hot. Get an under-counter ice machine with a built-in pump for just $12.99. Or how about a fridge out by the pool or in the garage for extra cold drinks? You can get a scratch and dent 18-cubic-foot refrigerator for just $3.49 while supplies last. Go to OwenAppliance.com to learn more. That's OwenAppliance.com.
Calling all UAH Charger students and parents. Welcome to Nexus, the first student apartment community built especially for you. Nexus is brand new, located next to the UAH Fitness Center. Enjoy your own bedroom, bathroom, fully furnished units, kitchen, washer, dryer, study room, and game lounges. And best of all, an easy walk to campus and classes. Call today to enjoy the complete college experience. Move in before fall classes start. 256-683-3939. And go Chargers.
The state's largest orthopedic group is growing to meet the needs of the patients in our community. The Orthopedic Center has long been the most trusted name in orthopedics in North Alabama. So as our area continues on the fast track, so does the need for premier orthopedic care anywhere and anytime you need it. TOC is proud to announce the opening of our new locations in Albertville and Hampton Cove, along with the grand opening of our newest office in Decatur. These clinics will offer the same high-quality orthopedic care you have come to associate with TOC, with the convenience of being closer to home. As a patient, your time is your most precious asset, and we recognize that at TOC. That's why we are also proud to announce the opening of our urgent ortho clinics to handle those bumps and bruises that need prompt attention. These clinics are available to care for acute orthopedic injuries with no appointment necessary. With 38 physicians, 20 centers of excellence, and now more than a dozen locations to serve you, TOC will continue to be the name you turn to for the best orthopedic care at the right time. Visit our website at visittoc.com for more information. TOC, helping you live a better life.
Since 1983, Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate's Ann Adams has been your local go-to real estate expert in the area. As a buyer, you can trust Ann's in-depth knowledge of the local housing market to narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in, saving you time when shopping for a new home. When you're ready to sell, Ann's expert negotiation skills will ensure you get a fair price and hassle-free experience. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or email annadamsrise@gmail.com. By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
There's power in caring when it is put into action. Each year, our bankers serve on nonprofit boards, support our local educators, and volunteer with our hometown food bank. I'm Bobby Humphrey, Vice President of Business Development for Bryan Bank, and community service is just not a line item in our mission statement, it's who we are. Because after all, Alabama is our home too. That kind of commitment to community might not be what you would expect from a bank, but it's exactly what you can expect from us. Give us a call or stop by one of our 2 offices in the Huntsville area and experience unbeatable service and legendary results.
Bryan Bank Equal Housing Lender, NMLS ID 2428943, member FDIC.
You've been paying on that life insurance policy for years, but maybe you don't really need it anymore, or it's gotten a bit too expensive. Well, before you just let it expire, let Neighbors Insurance Solutions share with you some alternatives that you haven't considered. Don't throw away something that still may have great value for you. If you want to learn more about what Neighbors Insurance Solutions can do for you, call 256-763-7693. A death benefit could be a life benefit. Learn more at 256-763-7693.
The Tom Abraham Show, weekdays beginning at noon on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and WZZN TV.
All right, last segment, best segment on 97.7 ESPN The Zone and the Blitz. Joe Hunk, John Abraham, live from SEC Media Days 2025. Make sure that if you have missed anything, you can go to our social media feeds on X, on Facebook, as well as on YouTube, and be able to catch up on anything that you may have missed throughout the entire week.
No doubt. It is all over the place when it comes to our social media pages, where you can go and find us on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube. I mean, the list goes on, and you're going to be able to get all the content that was played here from SEC Media Days, except for the one that I thought was pretty interesting, Joe. I know you've seen this on social media. There have been clips of a fake football player running out of the tunnel. It's just been everywhere, and it hasn't been around in a minute. Like, I would say probably 6 months since the football season ended. It hasn't really been circulating too much, but yesterday and the day before, they've been kind of making us get out of here a little bit early. But yesterday we were here until, I would say, 5, 6, and I noticed that there was still a press conference going on in the main room, and they were actually shooting a show, and Steve Zahn was actually at the podium as a coach for a team that doesn't exist, but they had the graphics behind him and everything, and they had the media, asking questions and all of that stuff. And I was just so taken aback. And I think that's the reason why they've been getting us out of here. If you don't know Steve Zahn, he was the dad in Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Absolutely hilarious.
I was about to say, you probably are going to want to tell some people about who Steve Zahn is.
He was the dad in Stuart Little. I mean, come on. I mean, this is that dad. He was in The Good Dinosaur. He was in Tall Girl, if you remember Netflix putting that out. I did not enjoy that. He was in Chicken Little. I think he was the dad. No, wait, he might have been Little in Chicken Little. I'm trying to think. No, he was. Yeah, he might have been the dad. I don't know. He seemed like the dad there. But, I thought it was just really interesting. And I think it's called Ken Powell. I think it's Ken Powell, the new show that's going to be on Hulu. I don't know exactly when, but I thought that was interesting. Never seen it. Never seen somebody fake a football team before for a TV show, but finally got to see it. I might be 100% wrong on that name, by the way.
Oh, on which name?
Ken Powell.
Okay, no, I was like,
no,
wait.
it's Chad Powers. That's the name. Ken Powell is like he's like a Democrat or something. I don't know. But Chad Powers is the show that's going to be coming. It's Glenn Powell's Chad Powers comedy. It's getting released on Hulu.
The show that I knew him from the most was the first time I ever saw him, I think, was Joyride, which was him and Paul Walker were doing a show about like this. Again, it's I forget the basis of the show. I just remember they were driving around, and they were like on a trip or something. Yeah, so the base of the show, because I just pulled it up on IMDb, 3 young people on a road trip from Colorado, New Jersey, talk to a trucker on their CB radio, then must escape him when he turns out to be a psycho killer. It was actually a really fun movie, and it also kind of introduced me to CB radios because, again, it was 2001. I had no idea what a CB radio was in 2001. So that was the one that I know him from as well. He's been on Monk. He's also been on a few other shows as well that's been going on there. But apparently he's now doing a show where he is going to be a football coach, and they're filming it at the College Football Hall of Fame.
Got going on right now?
John's talking randomly to somebody off air while the show's going on. This is actually really kind of cool. I kind of want to listen into this just to see what else happening.
You guys just with Mizzou?
Yeah, he's just with Mizzou. That's exactly who he's with.
Sit down. What's your name? Connor. Put this headset on. We got some Mizzou guys just walking around.
I like the way you just started talking to the man, like before he even just like
He started talking to me. Okay.
I don't care if he just started talking to you. He just like straight rolled up in there, and you're just like, I'm going to talk to you off the air, man. How's it going, Connor, man? You doing good, bro?
Who's the other guy?
His name is Joe Hunk. Yeah, it's
a ghost.
Joe Hunk.
It's your conscience.
But yeah, how are you doing? You said this is your first time at the Hall of Fame. Yeah. You guys are from Mizzou, okay? So tell the people a little bit about you, because this is a Huntsville station. I'm a huge fan of Mizzou. Eli, your coach, he's a character.
He's a funny guy. I know Mizzou. This will be my 5th year, so I redshirted. I've been there all 5 years. A little unique, not something you hear nowadays with the transfer portal. From Missouri, Jackson, Missouri kid, grew up there, wanted to play for the Tigers. So
I gotcha. Well, I mean, with the coach like Eli, of course, he was talking heavily about how he's kind of coming into his own. He doesn't give a crap about what we think, and I love that. That's a badass mentality.
He's a funny guy. You know, he definitely year 5 or 6 for him now. You know, he's in his zone. He kind of says what he wants. He's not putting on as much for the media anymore, maybe.
No, he is not. And he was talking about you guys in a little bit of a trip that you went on over the summer.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
So we went on a missions trip, Harmon's, Jamaica. So, you know, it's really like when you think of like maybe what a third world country would be. It was that, you know, it was tough. We were working Monday through Wednesday. We were out there from probably 9 to 4 every day. Just in the community with these people, putting up, trying to build houses, foundations, bathrooms, you name it, we kind of did it. But it was kind of a good experience to do together. You kind of had to embrace the suck a little bit together. Have some of that shared adversity. So, no, it was good. It was fun. To look back on it is definitely something enjoyable that we did. You felt good about yourself.
Yeah, I agree. That sounds like a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. And with all of these this turnover that happens with these football teams now, I was going to ask him a question. I was like, how do you get these guys acquainted with each other? Because I think about it with you, you're on the offensive line. Coming in and having to deal with, a new quarterback, having to deal with the wide receivers, the cadences, all of that stuff. You need something like this to help you guys.
And I think it's a chance for you to grow off the field and maybe learn a bit more about your teammates away from football. Like we didn't have no football, we didn't practice no football, we didn't do no scheme while we were there. So it was kind of enjoyable to get to see your teammates from that sense of view. Because when you are at football, it's just go, go, go. Because nowadays a lot of people are new.
Yeah,
Connor, before we only got like 30 seconds left, so before we let you go, Connor Tollison, he's the center for Missouri. Dude, why'd you cut the hair?
Just growing up a little bit.
Come on, man.
I know it doesn't look as good anymore. I was going for a more professional look.
Don't listen to Joe, man. He still wears ripped jeans at these events.
Dude, I have ripped jeans and I'm rocking a mohawk right now. I'm a hair guy, okay? Look, here's all I'm saying. We only got 15 seconds.
I can't see you.
I know you can't. I will tell you.
I'll show you a picture afterwards.
10 seconds. Suck all of this in because I want you guys to use the fact that nobody wants to talk to y'all as fuel over the season, bro. Have a good one, man.
Thank you.
See you, bro.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.